Hey, check out the sponsor for the video. Check out the links in the description.
Hey guys, I just got my free sample and shaker cup for the Dubby's energy pack drink. So this is me trying it. I just got it from my P.O. box and I'm just gonna try and see how it was. Let's just take a look at what I got, the samples that I got. As you can see, I have the peach, the beach and peach. I have the Dub Sludge, the Dragonade, and also Galaxy Grenade. I don't know which one I'm gonna do, and I got the anime cup to like get the package. I'm gonna try it for my afternoon energy boost. Now I'm about to mix my new Dubby pack with Dragonberry. We're gonna see how this tastes. Not too bad. I think I'm gonna sip on this for the rest of the day. It's about 3 hours till I get off of work, and we're gonna see how this actually makes me feel. So, small little correction. I actually had the Galactic Grenade earlier. Tastes actually awesome. And didn't get the jitteries. I actually drank it over an hour-long period, and I still got enough energy, enough mental focus. I guess this is good to go.
So, you guys know that I am not a big fan of this whole. Okay, so I'm gonna say it like this. I believe that a lot of streamers actually harm the cause of leftism in a lot of ways. And what do I mean by that? I mean that they're so focused on their popularity, them actually saying that, hey, I'm popular, hey, I'm right, hey, look at me. And they're dumb fucks. Or they promote harmful shit. And I know. This is the let's fucking hate on Hassan. This is not the let's hate on Hassan hour, but for an hour, we're going to be watching how Hassan literally kind of like fucked up. So let's watch this shit. Let's watch this shit. Damn, I just passed by. Let's see what Hassan is talking about. Now this is wrong thing. This is a video that he recently did where on the leftovers. And yeah. Let's watch while I'm trying to catch a vibe. Definitely trying to catch a vibe. But let's watch while we talk about Hassan, shall we?
Doesn't Ramaswamy also want to ban TikTok?
He does. Okay, I'm a fan of that. Okay, well, now I'm voting for him.
I think he's...
I'm voting illegally for Ramaswamy and RFK Jr. Both of the guys that you showed.
His big thing is he's extremely hawkish on China, right? Like, that's like the foreign policy
I don't like
corner.
that.
He said he wants to preempt a war against China.
Uh-oh. Hassan is about to have to face some policy conversations. And I know everybody's done this, and I know I'm a little bit late to the game, but he's going to face some policy conversations. This is going to be interesting, and I've watched some of the videos, and I've tried to like not watch the full thing, but it's a sign. Come on, let's go.
He wants to like fight against China, but he also kind of wants to like leave Taiwan to China. It's like very weird. He has like a very weird foreign policy perspective on it.
Right.
The obviously like xenophobic.
No. The thing about it isn't let's just say what it is. He wants to do what's called spheres of influences. Now, what does that mean? A sphere of influence means that it's one country, one big powerful country, that controls everything around him. Now, Hassan has been vocal about, Russia and Ukraine, how Ukraine is in Russia's sphere of influence. And I'm sure Hassan would have a problem with Korea, or like not North Korea and South Korea, but the unification of Korea under Chinese sphere of influence. Vietnam under Chinese sphere of influence. Japan under Chinese spheres of influence. I'm sure Hassan wouldn't have a problem with these because Hassan is a dumb fuck. And he doesn't think about policy other than, what can I say that's not going to get me in trouble? That's what Hassan is. And anybody who thinks different, that Hassan is some big policy wonk and cares about, things like, rights other than America bad, good guys and bad guys, then I don't know who you've been watching. But let's go.
Anti-Chinese perspective is like shared commonly by the entire intelligence community, our State Department. Obviously, it's like American policy, but the whole like leave Taiwan, or first leave Taiwan alone and then give them all guns. Like make Taiwan like America, where every person in Taiwan has a weapon.
How do we feel about Taiwan, Hassan? China or not
Taiwan?
China? Or is it China or not China?
That's the American policy. Whatever the American policy is, whatever the American perspective
What's your
is.
opinion? You really won't say?
No, I'm saying it's like one. It's one.
Wait. Now he's deferring to American policy. He's deferring to American policy. If he's deferring to American policy, America treats Taiwan as its own independent country. It does. What if you want to go with the Chinese or the CCP perspective, then it's just Taipei. But he's too scared to say that. But let's go.
One country, two systems.
No, it's not. It's two different countries.
Really?
Taiwan and China.
Is that according to American foreign policy?
No, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? Taiwan independent?
My opinion on Taiwan is...
See, what he's doing right now, he's calculating how many subs will I lose if I'm open and honest about it. Because America bad. It's not even China good. It's America bad. How many subs will I lose if I admit that there are no good and bad guys? Because that's all his stream is. This person's good. This person's bad. That's all his stream is. Get 14, 15-year-olds riled up. Like, people joke about the whole Sneeko thing and how he has a lot of, 14, 15-year-olds in his fan base, and you saw what happened. Hassan is not that far from it. These disaffected older teens that think, I'm going to show how much more better I am than my parents. I'm going to show how much more, progressive and right I am over my parents, and just go full fucking hog. What's up, Icon?
Is that Taiwan is the Chinese concept of Taiwan should remain in the hands of the people in Taiwan who
so therefore
believe
it's independent.
Who, for the record, for the most part, just believe to not
Dude, what the fuck are you saying? Answer the question. You're not answering the question. He's not answering the question. He's not answering the question for the most part, for the people of, like, dude, just answer the question. Answer the question, dog. Answer the question. All you have to do is say, hey, is it Taiwan or Taipei? Because China considers it Taipei. Just answer the question. What's the answer? What's the answer? What's the answer, Hassan? What's the answer? He's not going to answer it. Tanky arc. What do you mean tanky arc? That's his bread and butter. That's his bread and butter. He's always been tanky supportive.
Disrupt the ongoing relations with.
Why are you being
China.
so carefully footed around
Because I know that there's going to be a subreddit.
issue.
There's going to be a subreddit post with like a million fucking comments being like, Hassan wants everyone in Taiwan to be killed because he loves China.
So say that. If you don't believe that, say that, dog. All you have to be is honest. Have your political point. Make your political point. Say what you gonna say. Look. I'll say it right now. I will say it right now. China should not try to invade Taiwan. These are people that are a generation removed from the separatists that originally fled from China from the revolution. They want to live their lives in freedom. They want to be able to make a choice. And the sad part about it is most viewed, yeah, exactly. Because he tells these disaffected, politically crippled teenagers what the fuck to do and what the fuck to think. That's why. Oh, I mean, like, and then I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of streamers are starting to fall for this shit where they just become disaffected. Look. I was born in 1982. My first fucking election that I can vote in. My candidate lost. It didn't make me become disaffected the next time the election came up. I had to vote again. And he lost again. But these motherfuckers they don't want to try because they're so scared of losing. And they become disaffected. And it's better than Trump voters who say, oh, you don't like my person, then you must have cheated. That's the sad part about it is it's a feeling of I lost, so it must be bad. But let's go.
He's a Xi Jinping.
That's what I heard.
That's what it's already over. You asked me that question, in jest, and it's gonna already
No, I
go there.
was genuinely curious what you think about it.
And then
I think that
Hassan Piker am using a gun.
I think that
and you know what got me is the blowback that happened from all of this. The blowback that happened from all of this, you get the fans on the side track seem like, oh, Ethan's being a shield, and like they know Ethan has actually dealt with people instead of these motherfuckers who are so socially crippled that they don't know how to do shit but sit in their parents' house and get mad because they don't know how to talk to the motherfucking person that they interested in on the same bagging shift that they are. And then when they run into somebody that has a different opinion, instead of trying to hear their opinion or try to combat their opinion, they say, oh, you're a fascist and don't talk to me. Like they can push the block button on Twitter in real life. But let's continue.
overall, it's contemporary history is complex. At the end of the day, if the Taiwanese citizens would ever put this up for a vote and we're like, we want to fucking be an independent nation, it's up to them. You know what I mean?
They
You
already
can't.
done that?
No, there is no.
No, what Hassan said is true from everything I've read. The most people in Taiwan nowadays support just keeping the status quo, like the kind of
But they're
strategic
they're-
ambiguity of
The
what's
overwhelming
going on there.
majority, the overwhelming majority's consensus opinion is that they don't want to disrupt relations with China, and they also like.
No, you dumbass. They don't want China to invade them because the minute that they officially declare independence, China's going to try to roll some motherfucking... Well, I guess roll tanks is a little bit different. China's going to actually try to roll some ships or sell some ships to take over. Y'all know what the fuck I mean. And not only that, but it's like they have de facto independence. They have de facto independence. So why would they say, yeah, let's antagonize China by saying, yeah, fuck you guys? China is itching. Did you see the recent move that China made to the Nauticals map? They are itching for a confrontation. They're looking to say that, and a lot of these motherfucking MLs and tankies aren't going to actually pay attention to this. China has actively destroyed wildlife, destroyed, coral reefs, building fake ass islands. But these motherfuckers ain't going to say that. They have actively displaced a lot of different fucking species trying to build fake islands to extend their reach, which are a little bit more than floating aircraft carriers. They make people disappear. And a video that I'm gonna actually cover, when I get a chance to, is the whole social credit score. But let's go.
Obviously, if it was a situation between like full-blown independence versus like becoming a Chinese state, like becoming a part of the Chinese state.
Do the people of Taiwan like pay taxes in China? Like, do they vote?
I don't know. I don't know
if they
the
even have
exact
elections.
details of that.
Do they have like travel status in China?
But the thing is, like, as far as Chinese Taiwanese relations goes, like the original inception of the country is
Taiwan
is a fascist dictatorship that America recognized as the real China until.
Why do you make it fascist? No, it was a fight between two different factions that did not want the motherfucking monarchy. And not only that, even if it was just that, there has been a marketable difference in the change in the Taiwanese people from what they originally fled from to now what they have now. There has been a noticeable change. Just like a lot of the South Asian countries have actually went ahead and broken into more of a social democratic system. Yes, there are still communist parties or communist parties that are still in lead, but they still in leadership, but they still have markets. They still pay people in a market way. Vietnam is not a communist country. And no, I'm not confusing it with Korea, but Vietnam is not a communist country, even though it has communist leadership. They still have a market economy. Yeah, he knows nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. But let's go.
Richard Nixon normalized relations with China, and that's where they implemented the they call it strategic ambiguity, which I call lying.
Hold on, this says that the current administration of Taiwan.
So, lying. What are they lying about, Hassan? What are they lying about? See, a lot of this shit, a lot of this building up of just word salad and word games, it's fooling to a lot of people because, hey, a lot of people don't listen to exactly what you say. They listen to how you see it, how you say it. But dog, you're not fooling anybody that has a monochrome of not drinking the Kool-Aid that you're trying to drink.
Maintains that Taiwan is already an independent country.
Yes.
Thus does not have to push for any sort of formal independence.
There are, well, that's because they don't want to.
And the thing about it is, Ethan is actually looking it up online. He's looking the shit up online. And Hassan is just trying to find out some ways to lie. This is why. And people wonder why, like, you get these communities where it's so insular, and I get it. Like, my community, I have all different types of people. And there are certain things that I just don't allow in my community. Like, I don't just, like, openly allow making fun of somebody for their unchosen characteristics, but Hassan does, and I know I keep mentioning going back to that fight that he had with Adam something, where when it's convenient for him, he plays the I'm a white guy, but when it's not convenient for him, oh, I'm a Turk. Like, he does this shit to really just like to play a part where he's drifting between the two of them in order to say that, hey, hey, I'm on your side no matter what. If you want to denigrate, white people, I'm going to denigrate white people with you. But I'm not going to be like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And he's never actually openly made a claim. Even when he was going back and defending the whole Russia thing about the invasion. And he was going the fuck out. Here, fuck. Can I find it? Hold on. Give me a second while I land this ship. I look it up. It says Hassan defends. How long is this clip? No, I need the short clip.
Senate advisor of EU Parliament confirming that the invasion has begun. Breaking: Ukraine closed airspace nationwide, citing potential hazard. And now Alexandra Krause, the senior advisor of the EU Parliament, is saying Russia is invading Ukraine. However, I don't know. Again, we don't know. This person might literally be retweeting, okay? Or it could be happening. I'm just letting you know. Be calm. Be cool. Wait for further all the views. Justify all-out, full-scale fucking boots-on-the-ground military warfare explosions and potential fucking air
Where is it at?
nation of Russia. This is fucking completely insane. Like, America rolls over developing nations on a daily basis and it's over fucking
It's whataboutism. It's just whataboutism.
And and it's disgusting, but there's a white supremacist attitude that a lot of people have towards that kind of conquest in the third world. This is like,
My man, Western Russia, the core of the Russian Empire, and the Ukrainians, is what you would consider white, dog. But it's a white supremacist attitude. Listen to this shit.
for themselves, ultimately crippling Russia and also destroying Ukraine. Afghanistan 2.0. Afghanistan 2 Electric Boogaloo, but this time...
Yes, it's Afghanistan 2. What the Russians did. They went
in Russia's
this
doorstep.
This shit is crazy.
From Kiev? Holy fuck. Wait, is that like a commercial building? Hold up. What the fuck, dude? Look at this.
This is crazy. He's defending this shit.
If the markets continue to react...
Situation. Not waning power, better off than it was before, but still nowhere near what it once was.
And the thing about it is, the craziest thing about it is when he was ranting and raving, talking about it's bad, but I don't know, and then would like say the shit under his breath. You guys know that clip. I wish I could find that clip because all he does is try to play both sides, whatever gets him his popularity. And like I was watching the Chud Logic breakdown of his whole idea of who he is and how he was self-made, even though he had a small intern at the Young Turks. Like, no. And then like it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy that he's just some fucking dude, bro, that had the popularity of his uncle's fucking company that he claimed he did video games and politics at the same time. He's a fucking loser. But let's get back to this video.
Do like a full blown
Exactly.
They don't want to disrupt the status quo. That's why they're saying that.
Well, sure, they don't want to be invaded by China.
They want autonomy while simultaneously being under the Chinese banner, according
Seems like
to
they want
international.
independence, but they just don't want to be like attacked by China militarily.
Well, that's part of it for sure. So you understand how Taiwan was.
Oh, that's part of it for sure. Like, that's a big part. And I know it's going to come to this, but look what happened with Hong Kong. Look what happened with Hong Kong. Now, every other time, Hassan would be like, fuck the police. But when it came to Hong Kong, it was like, oh yeah, no, they got to get rid of this and all the bad stuff. Let's go.
Developed a nation state, right? Like, so Mao purged and defeated the counter-revolutionary forces. Taiwan has been a larger part of like China historically, and the original Taiwanese claim was that the entire mainland China belonged to what is now known as Taiwan. And that was the American foreign policy position as well, because, you know, China was communist and Taiwan was a fascist military dictatorship.
Yeah, but that changed in the 80s, Hassan. Since the time that you have been alive, that has actually changed. Since you've been alive, dog, it has not been a fascist dictatorship. But let's go.
So they were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna completely ignore China until Nixon normalized relations with China. And then Taiwan became a democratic country, of course, with still a lot of reactionary opinions overall. But like, that's...
You even admit that they're not. Oh my God, you're fucking stupid. You're fucking stupid. All right, let's go.
Gone away in recent years. I think the younger generations have a different perspective on the matter. But overall, like, historically speaking, Taiwan and China being the same country, it has been around for much longer than, like, as Elon Musk said, Hawaii being an American state. Much, much longer.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't give a fuck. And let's be honest. This is some of the shit that I watch. I've watched the history of Taiwan. They've had Chinese colonization, but before that, they were actually considered part of a Japan colony. But Hassan will never admit that because Japan bad, because U.S. bad. But let's go.
Taiwan is already independent. That's what I'm saying. People don't want a formal declaration just because they don't want a fucking war. But they're not wanting to be Hong Kong and be consumed by the Chinese party.
You don't want to be Hong Kong? What happened in Hong Kong?
Fuck. The way Ethan looked at his ass. It's like he just straight up gaslit him. Oh, nothing happened in Hong Kong. There is no war in Hong Kong. There is no, like, literally, he just boss and saved his ass. What happened in Hong Kong? What the fuck? Hassan knows what happened in Hong Kong. He knows what happened in Hong Kong. He fucking knows. There is no war inside of Boston, say, right? Like, the fuck? All right, let's go.
Am I saying the right place?
No, you
They
are
were independent, and then they got fucking eaten.
They were
up.
not independent.
Oh, so you know what the fuck was going on? Like, for real. That is, like, if I was Ethan, I would just I literally was like, you fucking with me, right? You are literally fucking with me. Wow. You literally try to make it seem like I was fucking stupid by mentioning what was in Hong Kong. You fucking with me, right? Okay, let's go.
Well, they were had some rights. They were less independent than Taiwan, and then they got
Hong
eaten
Kong
up.
was bought by you know.
Are you saying the people of Hong Kong did not want to be?
There were certainly people that
independent?
did not want to be a part of China. Absolutely, that is 100%
lot,
correct.
most of them.
A lot of
the people there took a lot of
people
pride in not
enjoyed.
being.
A lot of people enjoyed having Western civil liberties, while simultaneously like being in a unique position. But now that China,
What was that unique position, Hassan? Was it that they weren't part of the Chinese the Chinese governing body? Was that it? Was that the unique positioning? Wow. He is just a dishonest fucking prick, isn't he? He's just honest as shit. Wow. Okay. Okay. Fuck. Let's go. Let's go.
already does regular trade with the rest of the world, because like at a time in like the 90s, Hong Kong was seen as like this prosperous middle ground, but since the 2000s, like because of an insane amount of development and insane trade relations with the rest of the planet, there are tier one cities that are even larger and have more economic activity than Hong Kong in and of itself.
It wasn't about the economic activity. It was about the fact that they had more freedom than everybody else in the area. That's what it was. That's what it was, Hassan. And you know that, dog. You know that. They had more just human rights and freedom than what everybody else had. And you know that. And for you to sit back and make the case that nah, it's just about economics. You dumb fuck. Because all you're doing is literally you're doing motherfucking Chinese state media propaganda, dog. All in the name of US bad. See, this isn't about the fact that he loves China. This isn't about that. It's US bad. You make your politics on the fact that you don't like something instead of what you want to build versus what you want to fucking destroy. And you wonder why you have so many anarchities in your motherfucking in your fucking cat in your chat and shit. The fact is, Hassan has built this shell for himself where he thought, hey, you know what? We're gonna play to these people. And you know what? What I know a lot of these Marxist Leninists in their motherfucking feelings about this shit are, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna fucking say it. They are children of medium income or medium class motherfucking parents who live in the suburbs, don't know shit about interacting with real impoverished neighborhoods, real impoverished people, or people that aren't in the middle class like they are. And they want to show, yeah, I'm hard. It's like the motherfuckers that, whether white or black, that grew up in the suburbs that want to claim, oh yeah, I'm hard because, you know, I grew up in this city. Motherfucker, you grew up in the suburbs. But I grew up around this city. Motherfucker, you grew up in the suburbs. You didn't have to struggle like other people that you claim to be in the city are. You are a child that's trying to LARP as a motherfucking revolutionary. Stop it. Hassan too. Hassan never grew up poor. Never grew up poor. Say what you want about his uncle. His uncle literally had to fucking farm shit. He was a little bit better because Hassan's grandfather was a fucking engineer that they kind of got a little bit better with. But say what you want, Hassan never grew up poor. His fucking parents, like one of his parents is a doctor. He was literally going to school to be a lawyer. But he had that hard knock life. He's a self-made man. He had that hard knock life. But let's go.
And there was always a timeline where Hong Kong was going to be given back to China. They just accelerated it by like 2 decades.
Yeah, to take away their human rights. Dog, don't do this. Stop. You hurting your own motherfucking cause. You hurting your own cause by making it like trying to downplay the shit. But let's go.
If I'm not mistaken, because that was a lease on Hong Kong. Mm-hmm. So the people of Hong Kong, there were certainly a lot of people in Hong Kong that did not want to be a part of the Chinese state. But overall, if you look at the situation in Hong Kong right now, it's like they claimed that it was going to be devastating, and that has not happened.
Not that we know of, because they have no freedom of speech anymore.
Okay,
they can't talk. They lost
that
their
part
right.
Is true. You're right.
What are we going to learn from that?
I will not.
They have secret prisons, bro.
I do not agree.
Yeah, they don't complain because they're not allowed to. They don't have the freedom of speech that you get to sit back and talk about America bad on your stream for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Yeah, that shit that you take advantage of, they can't. As a matter of fact, it was recently a fucking YouTuber who was an open lesbian and was dating a Uyghur Muslim that got disappeared. Not because she was saying down with the CCP, not because of this, not because she was just openly lesbian. Silence from people like from Hassan. But let's go.
With China's social or civil liberties policies. I do not agree with that at all. That's why I don't live in China. I live in America. However, having said that,
you can advocate for China to be more free and open with civil liberties. You can do that. That's a thing that you can do. You have freedom of speech because, as you said, you live in America. God, this is so fucking sad, man. This is so sad because the fact of the matter is he doesn't care. You know what he cares about? His sub count. And it's not to say that he's a grifter. I don't want people to think that I'm saying Hassan is a grifter. Like, no. It's worse than that. It's about his validation. It's about his validation to say, like, oh yeah, Hassan, you're right. You're a self-made man. You did this all by yourself, and you're a success because reasons. Don't get me wrong. I am not going to attribute to malice what can easily be attributed to stupidity, greed, or cowardice. And I think he is being very much a coward here. Because he doesn't want to lose his validation. It gives him life to sit back for 8 hours a day. Like, if you ever look at anything that bothers him for real, it's that the editor thing, the stealing content thing. It's the, dude, you don't work as hard as you claim type thing. You're not as special as you claim type thing. That's what really grinds his gears. That's what really gets him. Not that, like, even the nepotism thing. It bothers him that people that work harder than him has had so much more, has earned success, even if it's lesser. The fights with Destiny. The reason why he doesn't like Destiny is because Destiny reminds him that, hey, Hassan, you wouldn't have been this far if it wasn't for me. The fights with Vosh, it's, dog, like, you wouldn't be this far if it wasn't for me. For good or for ill. And the fact that he cuts out dissent out of his community because it makes him feel bad that he has to question certain shit. Yeah, this is my problem with Hassan. But let's go.
you can just go to Hong Kong and you can just go to every part of China pretty much and see for yourself. This is no longer like the North Korea style hermit kingdom where like no information comes out. Like we have
regardless,
we have a shit ton of Chinese people that live in America. And
regardless, bro, it's not that
in China.
they had rights. They don't have rights now. They lost a lot of rights. But whatever. I mean, you're. This is interesting that you're very soft. You're very soft-footed around the issue of China.
Oh yeah, no. Second thought, like, oh yeah, I saw that video. But yeah, of course he's soft-footed about it. Again, his politics are America bad. But let's go.
You love China.
I think China.
If you love China so much, why don't you marry it?
Once again, I don't live there. I choose to live here because of the issues that you.
But America bad. America bad. Why don't you go live there, dog? America bad.
You just brought up, which is civil liberties being taken away, no freedom of speech, walled garden internet. Like there are certainly parallels to the American state or the Western world that there are certainly comparisons that you could make.
No, it's not. You are literally on a Western internet, motherfucking a Western internet where you're literally saying America bad. What was his? What made him famous? Him saying 9/11. The U.S. deserved 9/11. He didn't get secret policed anywhere. As a matter of fact, it built his career. All because America bad. And I'm with you. I mean, like, shit, America has done some fucked up things. Hello, somebody that has a melanin skin condition. Woo, boy, I can tell you some of the shit America has done in this last century that's fucked up. Man. But can I tell you something? And I want people on my channel and everybody who hears this video to actually understand this. There are no good and bad countries. In countries, there are no good guys and there are no bad guys. You know what there are? There are fucking leaders that are bad and there are leaders that are good. But when it comes to countries, they don't have friends. They don't have allies. They have fucking interests. And yes, I stole that from Boy the Fifth Column. When you are so myopic in your view that you think that a country is good or bad based on the fact that you don't like it, grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. This country good, this country bad. One, that is forgetting that there are people in the country that don't make the same decisions as some of the leaders in the country. That's forgetting that there are people in the country that are held hostage by its own country. You think people in Russia that want to be motherfucking in the place where they're at? No. But they are held hostage by their totalitarian leader. The same is in the U.S. You think that we all go along with some of the same shit that we see the U.S. is doing fucked up? No. Hassan can actually solve this shit right now. He's so proud of his Turkish history and his growing up in Turkey. If America's so bad, go to where you have citizenship. I'm not telling you to leave the country because just go back to Turkey. No. You have citizenship. You love the fact that even though the guy in Turkey is Erdogan he's doing some bad stuff as you put it, but still he's making sure that he's going against the Western Orthodoxy. When it comes to putting his money where his mouth is about how America bad, He doesn't want to do shit. I, on the other hand, I'll say it like this. Here. Come closer. If you think that I'm gonna let anybody who says that, oh, you can't change this country and this is gonna remain bad, so we gotta do the best we can to. No, fuck you. This is my country. If you don't like the fact that it's changing and getting better, you get the fuck out. If you don't like that minorities are getting rights, you get the fuck out. Because it's written in my motherfucking Constitution that America is supposed to get better. It was meant that we're supposed to pass an amendment with every generation. It was meant that all men are created equal. You know that shit that they put cynically in the motherfucking Constitution? But guess what? This is my motherfucking country. And if you think that I'm going to let you keep it as some regressive, backwater, dog shit hole, when I could push for better, then you leave. You go to a country where it gets more regressive. I'm going to push for more people to have more rights. I'm going to push for more people to have more economic rights. So there. But let's go.
But overall, that kind of mechanism of control is one that I do not appreciate personally, which is why I choose to live here.
So speak up about it. If you don't like it, speak up about it. You have no problems with speaking up about America bad. Shit. What did King say? Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere? Speak up about it. Fuck. What is your problem, man? What the fuck is your problem? If you have a problem with injustice, I don't see these people having a problem with any injustice that goes on in America. And these are supposed to be the diehard socialists. The people who think that, we're supposed to get rid of borders and, all mankind, like all mankind is my brother, what is the quote from Thomas Paine? The world is my country. All mankind are my brothers, and to do good is my religion. Is that what we're supposed to be? If it's affecting somebody in America, you want economic freedom for people in America, let's have economic freedom for people in other countries as well. And I'm not talking about the bullshit, oh, we need economic free and capitalist freedom. Like, no. If a country is holding starvation wages over their motherfucking country, I don't care what political party they say they're a part of, it's fucked up. Let's go.
Far as like cruelty, oppression, like what you're talking about with respect to Hong Kong, the promises that Western media overall made about like how China was going to crush Hong Kong under its like ruthless, oppressive thumb has not happened.
Sure, I don't think that
they did. They literally broke protests. They did. I was there. I watched the shit. They did. They arrested people and secret police people all just gone. They were gone. This is a lie.
was the point. I think the point was just that there's whoever was, vocal about wanting to maintain certain rights in Hong Kong was probably thrown in a secret prison and never heard from again.
I mean, certainly there was political dissidents are definitely.
You just said yes. You just said yes. You know it was true. So why would the people of Hong Kong have a issue with being part of China again? I don't know. I don't fucking know. They don't want to be disappeared? The fuck? Really? Really? All right, let's go.
Definitely,
Not the
political
best.
dissidents are definitely like
Taken out back.
they're not killed or anything, but even then, it's like completely
They take a
unacceptable.
walk and
Yeah.
and they go for a beer and they don't come back. You
Yeah,
know what
they
I'm
are
saying?
not. They're not good on that stuff.
But
100%.
well, anyway, I was just curious. I didn't mean to open a can of worms, but you say you think the people of Taiwan whatever they want, and it seems to me that the people of Taiwan want independence. So I'm right with you there, brother. Independence for Taiwan.
I think one nation, two systems.
One nation, two systems.
Coward. Fucking coward. Fucking coward. That's all this is. Cowardice. It's cowardice.
Systems
Yeah. Which is the current.
like Israel and Palestine.
Oh my god! You don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Come on.
I just
now.
I just
Why? See, the thing about it is, it can seem like a difference in paradigm, but it's really just America bad. America aligns itself with Israel and Saudi Arabia, so America bad. That's all this shit is.
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just trying to get you.
That part is like literally. I mean, that is a. I mean, that's a advocacy in the opposite direction, in my opinion, where
Independence for Taiwan. You
In your opinion, how is it different? How is it different? How is it different?
heard it here from Hassan.
Because remember, like the overwhelming majority of people living in Taiwan are still Han Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, despite the fact that it's a separate country, it's still like the same people.
Yes, yes. He just made a blood and soil. Well, they're the same people, and so they should be united under one fucking communist dictatorship. Because blood and soil. He's already been making Taiwan is just 100 miles away from motherfucking China, so it's their soil, and reasons. Like literally, he just made they're the same blood. So like I remember a guy in the 1940s saying the same thing about some motherfucking saying the same thing about okay. Okay. That's the thing that happens. Saying the same thing about some Austrian people, blood and soil, man, blood and soil. But let's go.
The language is
Ukraine.
the same. People will say
Ukraine belongs to Russia for that exact reason.
I don't think Ukraine belongs to Russia.
Why
because
not?
Ukrainian.
Why not? See, here's the thing. When you apply those standards to something else outside of what's bad to say is popular, because remember, again, motherfucking Hassan originally defended the fact that it was okay for Russia to take Ukraine because that was originally Ukraine. That was originally Russia's. Where Taiwan has never actually been claimed to be China or part of China. They just said it.
Ukrainian nation state, the Ukrainian nation state project, there are similarities. You're not wrong about that. But the Ukrainian nation state project as a well-defined nation state has always has been around for much longer than like Taiwan being an independent nation state.
30 years. It was originally considered a nation state around the 1920s where Lenin was like, okay, yeah, you can be independent. And then Stalin came in and was like, no, fuck that. 1920s or 19 teens and 20s in Taiwan, 1940. So what? 30 years.
So the people's entitlement to freedom.
Like you can make a better argument for
just,
Crimea being a separate country than like.
But what I'm hearing is that it's just a function of how old their culture is, how entitled they are to freedom.
It's not. I don't think that it's like those two concepts are not the two concepts at play here. Like,
So-
it's not like entitled to freedom versus
Yes, it is about entitled to freedom. That's all it's about. It's about that, hey, do I get to determine how I want to run my country? That's all it is. That's all it is. That is the end all and be all of what it is. That's all it is, Hassan.
entitled to freedom versus what was the other thing that you said?
Because China is not a leftist country. It's an authoritarian. Of course leftists are prosecuted. Of course they are.
It just seems like you're talking about like their national, they have some kind of national heritage or identity.
Well, the thing that I was mentioning there, the reason why I mentioned that is because you were talking about making a comparison between like Israel Palestine,
No, I was being more silly about that.
being the same people. I think makes that kind of, especially existing under the construct of having like one nation state regardless with freedom of travel in between. It's literally like a mile off the coast, you know what I mean, of China. Having all of that factors into.
It's not a mile off the coast. It's not. It's not, dog. We're a mile off the. Cuba's like a mile off the coast of the U.S., so we should just go grab that shit. I mean, Mexico is like 0 miles off the border of the U.S. We should go grab parts of Mexico. Oh, wait. Shit. Okay. Canada is like literally 0 miles away from the U.S. border. We should actually go grab parts of... Shit. I am sitting in the Louisiana Valley, Anna. I don't know what to say.
To like whether there's going to be assimilation or not, and there is no need for assimilation. Even they have like normal trade relations with Taiwan, you know what I mean? It's like that.
I don't want to be part of your country. That what part of that is that so bad? I don't want to be part of your country. We can trade, we can talk. But just because we talk on, like, I'm going to make this real personal. Just because we talk on the phone, don't mean you get to marry me without my position or other things without my permission. That's what this shit sounds like. Oh, we talked on the phone. You know, we may share a meal, but that don't mean you get to fuck me over. But let's go.
That's why it's considered to be a delicate political conversation, but one that currently the current system benefits both.
And so, if
places.
China takes military action against Taiwan, as some people speculate may happen,
yeah, I mean, that would not be good. I don't think that would be good. I think that would be really, really terrifying.
You think? You think that wouldn't be good? Wow. Fucking understatement of the fucking year. All right, let's go.
It would be disruptive for the entire global economy as well.
right? But I'm just mean like from
Why would it be disruptive? Why would it be disruptive? Come on, you can say it. You can say why to be disruptive. Because America would jump in and fight, and a whole bunch of countries would fight. Shit, and we're not on good terms with some of the countries that would help in that fight against China. Like, seriously, we're not on the best of terms with countries like India, especially what's going on now. But definitely India will come around to put the fucking screws in motherfucking China. That's why it will be disruptive, because it'll be a fucking shit show.
whose army are you joining?
No,
Which front line are you fighting?
I'm fucking moving to
Taiwan.
I'm moving to an
This is
undisclosed
conversation.
location. I'm moving to an undisclosed location.
I'm on the front.
I'm gonna be
Oh, we know where you're gonna be moving, Hassan. Right on top of a fucking fence.
on a fucking ship.
Whoever has the
screaming.
best computer chips, I'm fighting for.
Okay.
I'm a chip boy
Well,
myself.
If it wasn't for America, China would have some pretty solid chip technology, but America's like regularly trying to stop that process. Like they went to the Netherlands to be like, you can't sell China your chip technology, which is fucking insane if you ask me.
It's incredible the takes in chat. How many people are like, just the.
So here's the thing. China has a policy of corporate espionage. They do. They've been doing it for a while. That's a thing that's been happening. Just let them do the rest of the corporate espionage. Like that's all they want to fucking do anyway. But let's go. I don't know how much more I'm gonna be doing with this.
The polarization of this topic is fucking insane.
Well, of course, there's going to be polarization on the topic because the American media has been gearing people to be across the board like vicious, no matter what, to any foreign adversary. China being the main foreign adversary now.
Oh, you have an interest in what's going on? It's because you've been brainwashed by the media. You have no thoughts about anything else but what the media tells you. But Hassan, see, he's smart enough to know where he should be brainwashed because reasons. He's smart enough not to be brainwashed. In China, I think they call it business. Oh, God,
So
let's go.
people are going to be very passionate in their defense and start saying, we care about the people in Taiwan. You're not talking about the people in Taiwan. You don't
So
care
it's
about them.
it's the media. If it weren't for the media's,
I'm pretty sure that factors in that people don't want to just be like, yeah, yeah, we just want to we only care about the chip manufacturing. Like, I don't what the fuck is going on with that? Like, I don't. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. It just sounds stupid, Hassan, because you're jumping to the people, but China wants to go in and kill the people in order to enforce their rule. That's a thing that they want to do. But let's go.
propaganda, people would not be siding with Taiwan.
Yeah. I mean, think about it this way. Why the fuck does no one care about Yemen? You know what I mean? Why? Because
you don't even mention Yemen. You don't say shit about Yemen. Of course, I went through the videos and I've seen the people talk about it. You don't care about Yemen. You're just throwing them up there to say like, oh, I care about the people. Hey, dumb fuck. When have you cared about the homeless people in your backyard? I can do this shit too. When are you caring about the motherfucking homeless people in the U.S.? I can do this shit too. No, motherfucker. You're just throwing them up there to say, don't talk about me, I care about the people. You just dismissed caring about the people of Hong Kong because China has the right to say what they want to about, the dissidents in their public.
Saudi Arabia is the one, our ally, Saudi Arabia, is the one doing the genocide in Yemen. And you never see people get this passionate about Yemen. You don't see people get this passionate about Syria.
I think Taiwan has more relevance to the United States, like in terms of economical, and social.
Yeah, that was developed.
Well, that's only natural that people would care more about something that affects them more. I don't think Yemen. Yeah, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just don't think Yemen affects.
But it's still people. There's still people that are being mercilessly slaughtered. Whereas,
what do you think would happen if China takes over Taiwan, dog? What do you think would happen? This is the craziest fucking thing. What do you think would happen?
No one is being slaughtered in Taiwan in a similar capacity, and yet there are way more passionate because.
Not saying it's
like
right or
you
wrong.
said,
Because China hasn't invaded.
it is designed to have this kind of.
And you think that if the only
Manufacturing
reason
consent.
people care about Ukraine is because of the media?
Absolutely, 100%.
No.
Can I direct you to how they had helicopters saying on to Germany, on to Berlin? They are not. Hey, guess what happened after the Cold War? There was this thing called the Iron Curtain. The fuck? Yes, he literally says, "Oh no, why did you get into a fight with Adam something?" You know, the guy who I think he lives in Hungary, who says like, "Yo, Russia is trying to roll tanks across all of Eastern Europe to secure their empire again." And he's like, "No, they're not. But you don't care because I'm somebody from Turkey. I must not be much European to you." Like, he literally said that. He literally played the fact that he was Turkish to say that I must not be European enough for you. When Adam something who lives in the motherfucking in an area where the former Soviet Union was trying to take and keep as buffer states. The reason why Russia wants Ukraine, not only just because of the grain, not because of the fucking pipeline issues, but they literally want them to stand in the way in case something happens where Russia needs to be invaded. They want to use them as human shields. Go back to the history of Russia. That's the main reason they want most of Eastern Europe. Because they want to use them as motherfucking shields.
Nobody would care.
Yeah, of course.
Did anybody care about Georgia?
Yeah. That's a great
Probably,
question.
I don't know.
No. No one gave a shit about Georgia. That's
He
crazy.
didn't care about Georgia. What the fuck?
Hold on.
Hassan didn't care about Georgia. Hassan didn't care about Georgia.
Well, I mean, what about in Europe? They seem to care about Ukraine a lot.
It's the similar principle.
Latvia, all the states around the Balkan Sea. They care Finland because they're right next to Russia. That's why they care. Why would you dismiss them? The only reason why you're dismissing them because you're taking away the agencies or the people that live in these countries to say like, oh, they're just following the U.S. what U.S. tells them. No, they live next to this shit. They fucking live next to this shit. And they won't have to deal with the bullshit of having a very powerful, a very imperialist Russian empire that's trying to take their shit. All in the means of, I need a buffer state. But let's go.
Media is still media everywhere around the world.
I mean,
it plays
Ukraine
a very significant role in people's lives.
Hold on. Ukraine borders Europe, and I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but Georgia is not really in such a geographically, strategically important location as Ukraine.
Okay.
Well, I'm just explaining why people might care more about Ukraine than Georgia. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying
still
why.
People. It's the people that are being ruthlessly slaughtered.
I'm just saying because your theory is that.
Yes, there are people that is being ruthlessly slaughtered in fucking Ukraine. There are war crimes that are happening from the fucking Russian soldiers. What is that city? Bucha? The mass graves that they found, that the Ukrainian soldiers found after they liberated cities? There are war crimes being fought in motherfucking Ukraine, war crimes being had in Ukraine.
the support for Ukraine and Taiwan is essentially manufactured, that it wouldn't exist. It shouldn't exist.
I'm not saying it shouldn't exist. I'm simply stating that.
yeah.
I'm simply stating that.
It's manufactured.
the
People only care
tremendous
about it
amount-
because they've been tricked to caring about it.
It's not tricked, but
Not
dude,
tricked.
like, normal people don't think about foreign policy. Are you saying that you don't think that normal people's opinions about like internet?
And lefties always think about idiotic, stupid foreign policy. But let's go.
National matters are shaped by what they see on the news and what's prioritized.
I'll give,
by
I'll,
them?
I'll
course
give you a
it-
better
of
example.
Of course it is.
Hold on,
yeah.
hold on, because I'm being double teamed now, so I need to speak.
Okay.
Of course it is. But this implication that you're like, if you say nobody cares about Taiwan or Ukraine because of the media, it implies that, you know, the support for those two countries or care for those two countries is like,
Nobody
you know,
implied
manufactured. That it's really not sincere. That's what it sounds like.
You jumped to that. Nobody
I'm
said
sorry.
No,
but-
I am saying
No,
that.
yeah,
I think
he is.
Wow, it's like the country who is actively doing imperialist shit. You know, the shit that Hassan would rightfully criticize the US for. The fact that they doing imperialist shit, all because US bad and they against the US, then it's all right. No, it's not all right, dog. It is not the fuck all right. There we go. Plot the root. Let's go.
Saying
yeah,
that, Dan.
I'm saying that the support for the overwhelming majority of Americans,
Yeah, it's
for any
manufactured.
country
It's not
that
authentic.
any country that the United States of America has a genuine interest in, is manufactured in either direction. It can be manufactured carelessness and inconsideration, like being inconsiderate and ruthlessly violent at certain points, which is the example I was going to use with.
This is the shit that kind of pisses me off. It's like he's trying to say that people are too stupid to, when they see news about shit, they're too stupid to try to discern the shit on their own. If that's the case, dog, why the fuck are you fucking with somebody like Ethan, who is literally using the facts of what he has to determine, yo, this country, what they doing is not culture. He's not your super tanky best friend. More than anything, and he says it in the later video, that he's more of a social democrat. Why is that such a fucking problem to you guys? Because they not playing as LARPy as the bullshit that you're trying to have? Because you want to seem pure? And Ethan said that the chat is going fucking crazy. Like, he's saying some shit that's like factually wrong about what's going on. All because he's not saying America bad. Ethan, somebody who has seriously evolved his beliefs in politics about a lot of shit, who has said like, yo, I was a fuck up in previous years where I was just like, yeah, I only cared about me. Now I'm actually caring about other people. But because it's not your fucking purity test, you have a fucking issue. And they actively don't want him to have conversations where he's like, yo, some of this shit, some of the way y'all act is fucking insane. But he's the bad guy because he's not playing this LARPy bullshit because he's a fucking adult. And I hate saying that shit. I hate actually saying that the reason why so many people have nuanced takes is because a lot of these motherfuckers who have all or nothing takes are fucking children, because it's belittling. It is quite literally belittling to say like, oh, you'll understand when you get older. But it's not about that for me. It's about you don't understand how to interact with people as a fucking adult. You have this good guys and bad guys like the world is filled with Saturday morning fucking cartoons. That's not how this shit works. And if you ever get it out of your fucking head that it's about good guys and bad guys all the fucking time, you can actually understand and see where people do some fucked up shit, and you can discern what they're trying to say and what they're trying to do. I don't just go out and flatly say that people like Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro are fucking fascists and Nazis, and that's the end of this. No, I take the time to dissect the bullshit that they spew. But so many people, and I don't know if it's a fact that they don't believe in what they say and in what they espouse to spout out, that if they hear something that is contradictory to even the slightest bit, they may be swayed in one way, or they just don't have the fucking wherewithal to understand about conflict and deal with people may not 100% liking them. But it's fucking sad. Yeah, that's what happens when you're in a hug box. I want fucking leftists to win. But when you have shit like this that Hassan is doing, it makes us look fucking stupid. It makes us look like we're some delusional children that don't understand how to deal with reality. Not see reality and work to change it, but just are just, opposed to reality. That's why you see some of the dumbest fucking takes, especially from transphobes, about, at least I know what reality is. That you're so stuck on you just hate me because you hate me, that you don't take time to realize that somebody may have a fucked up way of thinking. Or maybe just a misinformed way of thinking that you can talk to them about. But no, it's about, this person is a transphobe, or this person is racist. And you don't want to have a conversation past that. And you know what? If you don't have the patience at that time, if you don't have the skill at that time, you say, I'm not going to argue with you about it. But you don't just sit there. I did. I talked about it earlier where the response that Benny did, the response that she did from what happened makes me call into question how she views things and how she views people that may be in opposition to her. And I'm talking about the Charlie Kirk interview. I'm talking about the way she responded with, who was that, Brianna Wu and Kaffles? See, the way you respond to shit, your views about things can be pretty inconsistent. I get that. I fucking get it can seem inconsistent, but when you look at the way people respond to shit, when you look at the way, and that was the main, that was the main criticism that they had with Cenk and Anna. The way they responded to things, it just seemed bad. But you see the way these people respond to shit. You see the way they follow up with shit. And it's just like, wait a minute, weren't you just crucifying somebody about the way they responded? And you going dishonestly kind of edit clips and shit like that? Isn't that what's going on? But no. Just trust me, bro. I was serious about this one because reasons. And what I'm saying about that one, yeah. And again, this is not to call anybody a liar. This is like, what is your perspective of how you take things? Especially when somebody's oppositional to you. But let's go.
9/11 and what we did post 9/11, or it could be manufactured in the other direction where it's like, this is the just war. This is the just war that we have to fight, like we did in Vietnam originally, when there was need to generate popular support for whatever kind of action America consistently takes. Now,
I'm not denying that propaganda exists.
Yeah,
but I am saying that, like, the comparison of Ukraine to Georgia is not. It's not apples to oranges. That's all I'm saying. It's not.
What do you mean by this? That
Ukraine borders.
He sounds like a fucking Christian apologist. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Like, the fuck? Ethan just told you the reason why people are shitting bricks over Ukraine is because they're right on the border of Europe. And what happened with Georgia is a little bit further to the east in a cemented area where it's like, hey, that may not be a direct threat, but there were people who were raising the alarm bells to say that if Russia would do this on a country right on their border, they're going to try it with there. There were people. I was around. That's originally why Obama put sanctions on Russia, because he was trying to discourage them from doing the shit in Ukraine. And you know what they did 2 years later? They fucking did Crimea. Not only that, they motherfucking literally funded and sent some of their troops. Remember the little green man in the western part of Ukraine? Those are actually admitted Russian soldiers. They've been doing this shit for a while. I don't see why this motherfucker is sitting up here and trying to deny this shit.
It's like mainland Russia or Europe.
Okay.
Europe cares a lot about it.
Okay. I would say that it's probably more. I would say that in Europe, there's probably more of a not controversy necessarily, but it's a more divisive issue in I think Europe than it is in America.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Well, let's put it on the main stage. Look at this shit. They've already started separatist movements in Moldova. They've already were trying to push an alliance with fucking Poland. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. These motherfucking countries are fearful of expansionist Russian motherfucking mindset. Belarus was so fucking like, oh, we just gonna do it. Like, they asked for Putin's help, and he has basically whoever the fuck, I forgot what dude's name is, has Putin in his back pocket. And Putin was trying to foment the fucking leader of Poland to be that type of person that he has in Belarus. This is fucking crazy for Hassan to act as if that no, everything is okay. Pay no attention to the motherfucking rising imperial power in the motherfucking East. It's gonna be okay. It's fucking stupid. And he knows it's stupid. That's the reason why he's him and Hunter and stuttering and all the other good bullshit, because he knows it's stupid.
Most likely.
It's also like, you know, not the best precedent when like tyrants start land grabbing in Europe. Generally
I don't disagree with that. I agree with you. I think that
and so I understand why people don't like
completely unjustifiable. And it's also, even if you're like pro-Russia, pro-Vladimir Putin, anti-NATO, right? Even if you're all of those things, it is a laughably idiotic thing to do, because all you've done is now galvanize NATO support in Europe and justified it. Because that was the entire reason for NATO's existence, is to stop the USSR, stop communism from thriving.
Oh no! Stop. The USSR was not communist. It was not communist. Shut the fuck up. It was never communist. It was people who said, hey, we're going to do a communist utopia. And when they got power, they fucking protected their power, even if it means going against the communist principles. So shut the fuck up. It was about power plays. It was, hey, let's get rid of the king and let's do the same shit that the emperor, that the czar did to try to motherfucking expand power. So shut the fuck up. And you know it. Stop. Oh my God. That's bullshit.
And obviously, Russia is a very different country than the USSR was, and is no longer
Not much. Not much. Well, let's go.
ideologically aligned with communism at all. It is a state that Western capitalists basically redesigned and propped up oligarchs, including people like Vladimir Putin. So, despite all of that, it's still utilized as a protection racket that you basically justified its existence of by doing such an unimaginably cruel, inhumane, unjustifiable act, invading Ukraine.
And you see, he just tried to like throw the blame back on the West because they were bad, and because they were bad, Russia had to act like this, even though like it was because Russian act like this because the U.S. um the U.S. caused the USSR to break up, so Russia has to act like this because reasons and stuff and things.
So it's a strategic blunder, even if you're like pro Russia.
I do
or
think that
whatever.
I just think people are capable of caring about it without
Well, I mean, I care
being
about
like,
it.
you know,
I care about it.
people can
I
sincerely care about it, even though, you know, you think it's unfair that people didn't care as much about Georgia, you know. That's my point as well.
It's not necessarily just not caring about Georgia. My opinion on this is that we, as a nation here in America and all around the world, are not immune to propaganda.
No.
As a matter of fact, every piece of information that we analyze has a great impact on our decision-making process, and therefore doing a full media blitz on any particular issue is usually going to yield these kinds of results and this kind of support, which without that kind of media blitz would not exist.
Again, he's doing the whole, hey, you're too stupid to understand that you should care about the people. I'm smart and I'm above you, and I care about the people. And even though I don't care about the people that's being invaded, because well, they have a shared history and blood and soil and all this other good bullshit. Like literally, he's doing a blood and soil argument. But let's go.
Does that make sense?
Again, I'm not denying that propaganda exists and that we're all, you know,
Yeah.
influenced.
And the example I was going to use was our justification for the invasion of Afghanistan and the invasion of Iraq. These were both unjustifiable wars, in my opinion. The war on terror was across the board, wholesale, ruthless, cruel.
Okay, and I'm about to engage in some whataboutism. The American government wasn't the only people that engaged in wars to protect certain things. You know, the Russians were there before. That's what one of the reasons why the Soviet Empire broke, right? If you're going by the criteria of unjustified invasions, just put them all on the fucking table, dog. Put them all on the table. But you won't do that because anything that America do is bad, and all these other countries, even if they're doing similar things, even if they're exploiting people with the International Monetary Fund, with their own version of the International Monetary Fund, like the Belt and Road Initiative, then no, China is just trying to help advanced countries, but they're putting in terms as causing these things to lapse back to them. Oh no, but you invested money, so you should have the right to do that. But if America does it, then it's a fucking issue because America bad and they're trying to do imperialism through capitalism and capitalism bad. But you have the same example over here. But America bad. But they're doing the same thing. No. But you need to understand something. America bad. Okay, then that token. No, 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 no. Maybe you didn't hear me. America bad.
led to millions of people dying, led to tens of millions of people being destabilized, and we're still living in the rubble of that kind of
Right, but
cruel and unusual action. And it was championed by a majority of the American population, and until like the past like couple of years, where
what does that have
we're
to do
at
with
Hold on, I stopped it too soon.
Ukraine being invaded by Russia?
where do you think that kind of attitude came from?
Okay,
Where do you think that?
It's America's fault because propaganda that Russia invaded Ukraine. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. America bad. America bad. Fuck.
Justification came from? There was $1 billion
It's not the
industry.
same thing, man.
no,
Ukraine
it's
was invaded by Russia.
No, it is exactly the same
And
thing.
it's literally a tyrant grabbing land in Europe.
I agree with what you're saying. My point is,
You're saying propaganda exists? Yeah, I know.
no. My point is that Americans think that they are independent thinkers, and yet they are motivated into believing things, no matter what it
agree
is.
that
It can be a just cause.
I agree that
It can be a just cause in the situation where you're supporting Ukraine.
Ethan is just tired of all this dancing. For Hassan to be doing all the dancing, Ethan is just tired. And this is some of these are the conversations that you get into with tankies. They just but America bad. I'm gonna give you 500 examples of America bad to counter your this country is doing fucked up shit too. But America bad. I am surprised that motherfucking Hassan, and maybe because he doesn't know, didn't bring up the Monroe Doctrine. Because I guess because if he brings up the Monroe Doctrine, you'll see Ethan talk about, wait, isn't that just about spheres of influence? And that's what Russia is doing? Trying to create its own sphere of influence? The fuck? Let's go.
And Ukrainian independence, which is an independent nation state. You know what I mean? It's been an independent nation state in the.
So, I want to know if you guys know this. I started this back here with it. About 50 minutes and 27 seconds into this video. We are now at an hour and 12 minutes into this video. So roughly about almost 30 minutes talking about this. Roughly. I know it's not exactly, but it's roughly. What does Ukraine have anything to do with the original question of why Taiwan should not be invaded by motherfucking China? Hassan has done a very, very nothing conversation about whataboutism and pivoted away from motherfucking China and Taiwan to Ukraine. And I guarantee you, the moment China invades Taiwan and it becomes very unpopular, you will see Hassan shift. But let's go.
In the aftermath of the dissolution of the USSR, it's been an independent nation state. You can't just like turn around and be like, all right, it's mine now, right? I agree with that.
So why is China trying to do that? They literally separated themselves. They fled, as you said, malpurged, and got rid of these people. And they all went to an island. And they says, no, I don't want to be a part of China anymore. I want to have my own separate country. Why isn't that the standard that you have for Taiwan?
And that it can be seen as a just war, an understandable war It's not even a war that the Ukrainian people wanted, right? But having
Wow, they didn't want it because they were invaded. Oh my god, this is so fucking painful. This is painful. They were invaded, dog. What are you saying? Of course they didn't want the war. They were invaded. Oh, he's a dumb fuck.
having said that, the American support, the full-throated support, is absolutely
It doesn't seem like there's full-throated support. There's a lot of people that don't support it. There's a very
because
diverse opinion of
if you
people
looked
on
at
Ukraine
polls in the original invasion, the amount of support
Seems like
was
there's a lot of conservative people who are like Putin simps, and then there's also a bunch of like lefties, like and I mean that derogatory.
those aren't real
who
leftists.
aren't like who are like the guy we were speaking to, the communist.
You're literally championing the shit that they're saying, dog. If they're not real lefties, your ass is not. Oh my god, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He's doing the thing.
It's Professor
Wolf?
Yeah, who's like kind of he people like him are also very anti-Ukraine in general.
I don't know his entire perspective.
He doesn't
but
seem very
I don't
bullish
Think, I
on
don't think
black-
you can be pro. If you are offering even critical support to Russia, or not Russia, but like Vladimir Putin in general, I don't think you're doing the right thing.
I don't
think
know
that
what's
you've
his
got,
position because he didn't really flesh it
Yeah,
out. but
I think you're
he went there a
lost
little
in the
bit.
sauce. I think you're lost in the sauce in the sense that
Me or him?
no, like anyone that is like, oh no, Vladimir Putin did the right thing. He has to have this.
I don't
like,
think people are
righteous
saying
conquest.
that. I think what I hear is like Ukraine, Zelensky is also, a shit starter, and it's their problem that we shouldn't get involved in.
I don't know. I think there's a lot. There are people who like claim to be socialist or even communist that are like, defending Vladimir Putin, but they're
Okay, so here's the thing. Now, this is something I've been pretty nuanced about for a while, and this is one of those things where I will say this. There are people that are 40 and over that have issues with the war because they kind of grew up in a time where it was still duck and cover drills, or they were still like, hey, Russia has nukes, and like, yeah, like that was a mentality, that was a prevailing thought at the time that they were in their formative years. And it's a kind of a thought on, let's get back to the status quo where people aren't shooting each other because nukes. And I get that. I mean, that's a problem that I have with the coverage that TYT does, because it's like, well, Russia has nukes, and if you think Putin is crazy enough to invade it, that he's going to actually use them. And you know what? It's a fair fear to have, and to try to push not having war based on that, it's a fair fear to have. It can be wrong, but it's a fair fear to have, because they think like, yeah, people are fucking crazy, and so yeah, people would like, if you think Putin is crazy enough to go against the international community to fucking, invade a country where like that's pretty much like invade and land grab a country, then like, yeah, of course he'll use the nukes. Now that's a fair fear to have. If, like I said before, it's maybe wrong, but it's a fair fear to have. Now, here's the thing, because Putin is surrounding himself with oligarchs, and the moment that he's talking about, yeah, it's the same reason why he doesn't have. Putin has people around him that want to make money and live long enough to spend that money. Not loyalists. He doesn't have any loyalists. He got rid of his loyalists a long time ago. Now he has people that think, I need to make money and I want to live long enough to make money. So those people are not going to necessarily hopefully go for a fucking nuclear war. It's the same reason why we had people around Donald Trump. Like, yeah, Donald Trump, yeah, he had some loyalists around him, but most of the people around him was like, you're not going to do something fucking stupid because we like money, we have money, and we want to live long enough to spend it. And that's a perspective that, some people aren't willing to bet on. Okay? So that whole fear about Russia has nukes, let's try to appease them, that's a general fear. But you also have to understand that these people, the people that surround these idiots and madmen and maniacs, they're no, we got money, we want to spend it. And so that fear, that I believe that fear is misplaced. But you never know. So that's why you see this descent on the left. So you see it with Cornel West, you see it with Richard Wolff, you see it, as I said before, with a lot of people who are over the age of 40, because it is something that, let's be honest, it's just something that was put forth in their, developmental years. And again, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that is something that, they've had to deal with because of life. But let's go.
They're marginal.
What, Dan? You seem to think that the Ukraine war isn't something America should get involved in.
When did I ever say that? What are you talking
just
about?
based on what you were saying about Georgia.
No, we were having a discussion about how media shapes narratives in the United States. And I was saying that, again, I'm not talking about in Europe, I'm not talking about in the rest of the world. In the United States, the Russian invasion of Georgia was a non-story. Nobody gave a shit here.
But it's different. It is different. There's difference.
It was a sovereign nation that Russia invaded.
Because it doesn't have the same proximity or the same importance within as Ukraine, I think.
Right, but we're talking past each other like that.
I'm not.
No, we're not.
Yeah, Ukraine is more important to the United States strategically. That's why it gets attention. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, okay. I know people are influenced by the media.
Right, but you were saying you think that people,
are allowed to care about things genuinely.
Nobody's saying that they're not
saying
allowed
that you're not allowed to. I mean,
No. Hassan has generally said that the only reason why people care is because of the media. He said that. He clearly said that.
Allowed to, but Hassan was saying.
What was I saying?
That it's a manufactured support.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, and
yeah, sure. Let's go.
And that is something that the U.S. media does. They manufacture support for U.S.
But is this manufactured support? Is it manufactured support in this case?
You were saying I jumped to conclusion.
I'm not saying that all U.S. foreign policy is bad, but I think it is unquestionably true that the U.S. media crafts people's.
Of course.
Yeah, it crafts the narrative.
So what is the disagreement then? What if maybe I'm not using
there's
appropriate language?
The implication that support for Ukraine or Taiwan is not authentic.
Right, that you're purely falling for U.S. propaganda. That's not necessarily true.
I do agree with that, yeah.
And then you...
Hassan just said it. He's like, the only reason why people care is because you're being brainwashed. Cool. Great. Fucking great. That's the end of the conversation. The only reason why you care about Ukraine or Taiwan is because you're being brainwashed. I don't know what else to say. Wow, that was painful. Very painful. I'm done. I don't know what else to say. Hassan has... Again, I don't want to actually say that he's a grifter. He's not. He just needs to be liked. He needs to feed his ego, and he needs to prove that he did it all on his own. And to me, that's a little bit more sadder. Getting your affirmation from the internet when people can turn on you just as quickly as they did. By the way, there was a new Debate Bro video. And as I said with the last one that I covered, it looks as they're starting to turn on Hassan now because live streamer. I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. But I'll cover that probably tomorrow. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to cut this video segment here. I want to say thank you to all my Patreon supporters and my Twitch subscribers. Join the Guardians, become a member, or become a subscriber on YouTube, Patreon, and help support the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and the next one should be popping up on your screen. Subscribe, and if you haven't checked it out and want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon. Thanks.